Hi. I don't know if there's anybody here, but this is my regular time that I'm trying to maintain at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays. Today I have nothing special to talk about, except I've been really busy every day trying to do Poshmark and eBay. My day is pretty much taken up the whole day. I feel like I'm working full time, but the reason, if I count my hours, it's not full time. And the reason being is I am so unorganized. If you could see my desk here right now, that's about how organized my mind is. It is such a mess. Piles of paper, piled on books, piled on. Here's a magnifying glass underneath there. My GoPro camera. But anyway, let's talk about organization, because that's what I need to be. I've read a little bit on using the time block system, where you block out periods of time, hours of time, where you just do one thing. You just concentrate on one thing. Now, I think that would work. I haven't done it yet, but I think it would probably work. But I have learned just recently, I'm new at Poshmark, let me tell you that right now. But I have a mentor on Poshmark, and she has helped me so much. And Bumblebee's my mentor. And she has really gotten me to, I'm trying to follow all her directions. And she's gotten me from going from 0 sales to last week, a third of my sales were Poshmark, even a little bit more. And yesterday, when I had no sales from eBay, I had 2 sales on Poshmark, 2 really good sales. So I'm going to really work on Poshmark and getting things transferred, cross-listed, the things that that would be good on Poshmark. For these Poshmark parties, I don't quite understand the parties yet, because I'm not sure if they're always the same, or if, I don't know who puts together these parties. I don't quite understand the parties yet. But I get an announcement, I think the day before. I'm not even sure about that. The day before, and then in the daytime, if I've forgotten about the parties, if I click on something that should be in the parties, like to share, it'll pop up. So I'm finding them just by accident, usually, unless Bumblebee tells me that there's a party going on that I should do. But I don't want to have to depend on her doing that, because she's busy with her Poshmark too, I'm sure. I did realize today, now probably everybody on Poshmark knows this, that on your Poshmark closet, on the, if you're looking at your screen, on the left-hand side is a little box with all the different brands that you carry in your closet. I'm just finding this out, realizing this now. So if you're going to hunt for a brand that needs to be in a party, you just find that and click on it, and it'll bring all those up from your closet, and you can just share them. And then you go to the next one and the next one, whatever. You can click all the boxes that are in that party and then just share. They'll be right there, and you can just share them instead of hunting your whole closet every time for it, which that's what I was doing. So it was taking me a long time. So I did learn that today. That was a biggie. As far as eBay goes, transferring, cross-listing over, I don't know if anybody out there has a good way to cross-list. I know there's a website or an app out there. I tried to get on it once and there were no openings. I didn't leave my name in there though. I really should do that. But it's sort of costly. You have to pay by the month. I hate that when you have to pay that by the month. I have so many things that are coming out that I pay for by the month. You know, you get something and it says pay this little bit amount each month, and you click on it and it just seems like nothing. But pretty soon they all add up and then you forget about them. And even if you're not using them, it's still coming out of your money. And I need to go back somehow and find all those and unsubscribe or whatever you have to do to get out of all those. That's another whole problem. I feel like I said, I feel like I'm doing, I feel somebody's here. Estella, hi. You're from North Carolina. My sister has family in North Carolina by Charlotte. Yeah. I feel like I get up in the morning. I always get up around 7:30. And I tried to do the getting up really early. I tried getting up at 5 in the morning for a couple days. And I'm telling you, by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, my eyes were burning. I could hardly do anything. Of course, I didn't go to bed early that night before. You have to do both. You have to go to bed early if you're going to get up early. But hi, Bumblebee. Oh, you were just answering my email. Yeah, I just sent it. Yeah, I just had I was saying before, I just realized that box next to my closet that has all my brands in, you know, you can check off the boxes for that particular party that you want to be in, and it'll just bring them up in your closet right on top, and you can just share right from there. It makes it so much easier. I just realized that today. But yes, I'm doing surprisingly well so far on Poshmark. And I'm trying to stay active, really active. Is it only sharing your entire closet? Or if you share bits and pieces all day, you're still active in your closet, right? But it's not bringing up. The idea is to bring up each item of clothing or whatever you're doing to the top of their algorithms. Is that how it works? I think. So I suppose if sharing your whole closet is the best thing. Now, every time I'm adding more and more from eBay, the brands that should be also on Poshmark. But every time I'm adding all those, I'm just thinking, oh my, that means my closet's getting bigger and bigger, and it's going to take me forever to share my closet. That's in the back of my mind all the time. But anyway, like I said, I get up about 7:30. I tried for a few days to just sit up in bed and share my closet immediately before I even get out of bed. But the problem with that is my eyes are really blurry in the morning. You know, even with my glasses, of course, my eyes are just blurry till I'm up for a while. So I was having a hard time seeing. I don't have my laptop up. Excuse me. I don't have my laptop upstairs. I was doing it on my phone, which I find almost as easy to do it on my phone as to do it on my laptop. It goes a little faster on the laptop, but so I would get up, and then once I'm up, after I get all ready to go downstairs, then I have the animals to do. I have the chickens to take care of in the morning because they are, of course, they're up at dawn. They want out of that coop. And I have to turn over the straw in their coop, and there's several things. It takes me about 15 minutes in the morning for the chickens, and I have to feed Dexter, of course, and feed the cats and myself. Breakfast is my favorite meal, actually. It's the meal that makes me feel the best, and it's the meal that I don't feel bad afterwards. When I eat in the evening, I usually don't feel good when I eat. Me and food, they don't get along really well. But I do take digestive enzymes from Dr. Christine Kasmar. She's online on everything. You can find her by the digestive doc or digestion doctor, anything to do with that, you'll find her. She's in Shelby, Michigan. And she has done more for me than my medical doctors have. But anyway, I take digestive enzymes, and I wouldn't eat at all without them. But I don't know how we got onto that. But oh yeah, I eat breakfast in the morning, and then I start doing eBay or Poshmark or whatever. I see what's sold overnight. I love to get those sales overnight on it's usually on eBay. I'll wake up, that's the first thing I'll check if I got a sale during the night. But then if the sale came in before 2 a.m., because you're going by California time, they say on eBay. So I have 1 day shipping. So if the sale came in like midnight the night before, I still have to ship it if it came in at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, I still had to ship it today. But if it came in after 2 a.m., then it can go till tomorrow, and it still counts as 1 day shipping. That's important on eBay. If you say 1 day shipping, you have to mean 1 day shipping. You can do it sooner. They're real happy if you do it sooner. But so I do any shipping that needs to be done, and believe me, there hasn't been much. This fourth quarter is really, everybody's complaining. I know it's not just me. Everybody's complaining, even over in the UK. It's the same thing there. So it's all over the world, evidently, that eBay has sort of gone down the tubes as far as the fourth quarter. I don't know what in the earth has happened except for their glitches, but they should have worked them out by now. And I'm pretty much have gone through a lot of my listings and corrected anything. It had to do with the size not showing up. I've corrected most of the things. I think that was the problem. So, and so has everybody else. So it's still slow. I have no idea what's happening with eBay. So I'm really happy that I have found Poshmark now. And I feel like I should get more and more active with Poshmark in case eBay goes down the tubes altogether. I don't know what I do. like I said, my one horse threw a shoe the other day. Now the farrier had to come out again. He was just there. Echo, the black horse, threw a back shoe. So he has to come out and put a new shoe on him right away. You know, farriers are expensive. Vets are expensive. My board is expensive. That's why I do this reselling. It's all for the animals. But I will continue on as long as I can doing this. I talked to a friend of mine who I first met in the very first stable that we had, where I first got my first horse. I met him there. He came about the same time. He got his first horse at 80 years old. He was 80. He is now 97. He learned to ride at 80 years old. He had an Arab horse, and my daughter had an Arab. I had a quarter horse at that time, and then I got Echo as a little colt. He's part draft. So we were in this barn together, and we rode together, and then we went to another barn. We moved, and he moved too. And he was in that barn with us, and we rode in that barn together. And we went to another barn, which wasn't so hot. And then we rode there together. And at that point, he sort of stopped riding as much. He was getting older, and he had a lot of back problems. And then we went to the barn that I'm in now, and he came there. He rode a little bit. He tried to learn driving, the carts, because she teaches driving there too. But even riding in the cart, it's very bumpy in the small carts, and it was hurting his back too much. So he finally stopped altogether. But at one time, he had 3 horses, just like we had. We had 3 horses. Then one of them died. He had 2, and now I just talked to him 2 days ago. He's now down near Columbus, Ohio, in a place near his family. And his wife and him are in a retirement center, or it's I don't know exactly what it is. It's just, they get all their meals and they sort of watch over them. It's like a nursing home, but he's up and around and doing things. But I just found out 2 days ago that he's lost his last horse. His last horse was taken down there to a barn right near him so he could at least see her. She was a mare. And unfortunately, she was, I guess, running in a field out in the pasture and broke her leg and had to be put down. So that's all I know about that. But it was so good to talk to him because I hadn't heard from him for a while. He wasn't answering. They weren't answering the phone. Every time I'd call, it would just go to I couldn't leave a message. It would go to voicemail, and then the mailbox was full. And anyway, his name was William. He's a really smart man. He was a pilot in World War II, a war hero. He was a professor at Ohio University. Very smart man. Anyway, I don't know how I got on that subject, but he is probably at 80. He was a lot more organized than I am now. I'm 77, and I'm having trouble organizing myself. But that's nothing new. That's nothing new. Back long time when my kids were still living in the house, this was in another town even, I read a book called The Distractive Homemaker, something like that. And it had all about how to organize yourself. And I followed this system to the letter. I mean, you wrote out little cards and everything that you had to follow every day. I still have that file box full of those cards. You just go through the cards and you do these jobs every day. Plus, I was working full time. I was more organized then than ever before. Maybe I better start doing that, get that book out again and write out cards that would go with my life today. That might be something to think about if I have time to even think about it. But I go and go and go and do this stuff until either I don't feel good enough to sit in this chair anymore, or I don't feel good enough to even stand and measure or photograph or whatever, and I have to lay down and put some heat on my back. And sometimes that's sort of the end of me once I lay down. But I'm not very good after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I have to get things done in the morning when I feel good and save my not doing too much for in the evening. So anyway, I didn't intend on this being just a ramble on thing, boring talk. But I didn't have anything to show you and I didn't have anything to do. So I looked up at the clock and it was 1:45 and I thought, oh, I don't even have anything prepared to do. Actually, yesterday I took some video of myself measuring things. I used my GoPro camera. I want to find out more things to do with my GoPro. I have this cute little GoPro stick that you put on. It's a little tripod, and you can make it tall, not real tall, about that tall. And I had it sitting over there, and I was photographing myself measuring things, and then I was photographing myself sitting here doing stuff. But actually, it was so boring. I didn't edit it or do anything with it. It's still on here. The GoPro camera is not a good camera, I found out, for taking self pictures. It's more for taking pictures of what you're doing and not yourself, you know. So if I take pictures of outside, of my garden, or of the chickens and that, it's great for that. I even have a chest mount. I can strap it to myself. I have a head mount too. I would never let anybody see me in it, but it works. It works really good because now the camera is seeing everything that I'm seeing wherever I look. I mean, it's a great idea if nobody sees you with it on. But anyway, that's it for today. I really don't have anything. I want to get back to work before I peter out here. And thank you, Bumblebee, so much for all your emails of advice. Here's what I do with it when I get a letter from you. I print them out so that I can follow these, like when you suggest things that I do. I have to print it out. So I have it right here in this other pile of stuff. Then I also print it out. I print out the parties. I've only had 2 of them printed out, so the brands allowed in the parties. I have a couple of those printed out. So you gave me the one about Zara, that one that was on yesterday, I think. And then the one, I did catch the one today just by accident, the anthropology one. So I printed out everything that was on that. And I did join that party. And I got my things up on that. So I know, yeah, right. Day in the life of a vlogger with my GoPro. I suppose I could do that, but it wouldn't be, it would just be me talking and me doing whatever I'm doing. I suppose. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that. I know some people do that. They do the life, the, what is it? The day in the life of things. There was a, on YouTube, there was, I don't know if you saw it, anybody, but there was a thing, people were getting tagged to do these answer these 19 questions. And I was watching, some of them were so funny. I know when Michelle and G did theirs, that was the best. I've watched a couple of them, but I really like their answers to their, first of all, I saw Becky Park do hers, and then she sent it to Michelle and G. So I watched theirs too. One time, long time ago, when I was just a blogger, this was like in 2000, I think my blog started back in 2006. Oh, there's a good sign. I just sold something. It might even been 2003. I have a huge blog on that has oodles of stuff. I think I'll have to put the address on it sometime. I think I don't know if it's Shirley's World blog. I'm not sure. I have to look it up and put the address or the address on here. But at one time there was something like that going around, and it was 50 things you didn't know about me. 50 things I bet you didn't know about me. So I did that. And someplace on there, I have to look it up, is 50 things I bet you didn't know about me. Oh, I go back and read my blogs sometimes. And actually, I used to be a pretty good writer. I hate to say that, but some of them make me laugh. I mean, I would write nearly every day, or every other day at least, about all different subjects on there. So I'll look up the address and put it on there. I should still blog once in a while, but I haven't really had time since I really started back doing eBay like 3 years ago. I stopped blogging. So anyway, I'm going to close for now. You love seeing the chickens? Oh, good. I can always do them. Yeah, this has been story time with Shirley. I think the best things to raise you up in YouTube, though, are things how to do this and how to do this. Maybe the day in the life. I don't know how they do. I'm still at 270 some, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I don't think I'll ever get there, but to be able to make even a penny doing YouTube videos, you have to have 1,000 subscribers. Then you have to have so many people watching. So you have to think of a way to have people join in and want to see your blogs. And I don't think this is one of them. Maybe just to a couple people, Bumblebee. Yeah. But you and my sister will watch me. I don't know where she is today. She's probably forgotten. Wednesdays at 1. But I'm going to close now, get back to work before like I said, before I poop out here. And I will see you for sure on Sunday, but maybe before with a GoPro vlog. Who knows? The reason I don't do so many of the recorded videos is because it takes so long. First of all, it's doing them. And then what takes so long is editing them and then getting them to upload onto YouTube. That all takes time away from what I'm supposed to be doing here. So anyway, I'll think about that. And I'm really going to close now. And thank you for joining Bumblebee. And thanks for your help. I would never be doing this without you. I'm anxious to get my box whenever you want to send it. I still have things to list upstairs. I still have things to photograph, another whole bag full. But then I'll be getting low and I want to get a box. So I will see you during the week. Sunday for sure. All right. Bye.